Welcome to the SWIG Business Presentation Short Overview. Hard times today, ladies and gentlemen. Skyrocketing cost of living, job insecurity, tax creep. And look, people are having to work longer hours or multiple jobs just to get by these days. That's why so many people are on the lookout for a way out, a way to supplement, replace or exceed their income so they can finally break free from the 9 to 5. Now more than ever, it's critical you take control of your finances, both making what you do earn work for you better and learning how to generate multiple passive income streams to ultimately become a professional investor and live a life of freedom. Everyone has aspirations of a better future. It could be as simple as getting a new car or a car. Could be to pay for your kids' education. And I find the big one is working from home. I know I used to commute about an hour and 15 minutes each way every day. The amount of time I spent in the car was insane, not to mention the 12 hours a day I spent at work. People often dream of a better place to live or a different location, or whether it's to travel the world and see different locations, or whether it's just to help your kids as they're growing up. I pose the question, can SWIG change your life? I'm here to let you know it absolutely can, and I'll show you how it can on the way through the presentation. So who am I? My name's Andrew Twelftree. I am a President's Advisor within the Skyway Invest Group, or SWIG business. I'm a private investor. I'm a full-time online networker and marketer, but I never used to be. I used to work as a civil engineer on hot, dusty construction sites in Australia, 12 hours a day, 5 to 6 days a week. And it got old very quickly. It felt like my employers owned me. I soon learnt to resent the time I'd actually spent there instead of home with my family where I should have been. I'm sure many can relate to that. It's a little bit different these days. I'm obviously an Australian. I live in the Philippines by choice. Here's a few lifestyle shots. We were recently in Malaysia. That's for us in front of the Petronas Towers, where we met Andre for the first time, and we've obviously met many times since. I'm a cryptocurrency enthusiast, obviously, and I'm a Skyway Technology co-owner, which is one of the three things we're going to talk to you about tonight. The Academy of a Private Investor, which is an education course teaching you how to become a professional investor. SWIG and its first project, the Skyway Technology, where we've been raising funds for this technology over the last 4.5 years. And it's really important to know where we've come from so that we know where we're going to, which leads to our second project, the Crypto Unit Program. This is the one we are all bouncing off walls excited about because it's producing ongoing, increasing monthly passive income starting right now. So stick around till the end of the call where we explain that in more detail. For now, we need to do a compliance. SWIG are not registered brokers or advisors. Consider information offered as recommendation or personal advice. All business opportunities come with risks, so please be responsible for your own results. Figures offered are for illustrative purposes only. We do not offer financial advice. Please do your own due diligence and seek confirmation from a licensed accountant or financial advisor for compliance in your country. Now, that being said, let me introduce you to a true genius. He's the winner of the Golden Chariot Award in 2017 for the most economically friendly transport. He's the winner also of the Slovakia International Peace Prize in 2018. He is, of course, Dr. Anatoly Yanitsky. He's the Skyway designer, an engineer with 40 years experience, an author of over 150 inventions, has over 100 patents worldwide, and coincidentally enough, the United Nations actually gave him a $1 million grant to prove the validity of the Skyway system, which he did, and that's why we're here today. If you want to know more about Dr. Yanitsky, go to his blog, yanitsky.com. There is a wealth of information and insight on there. He's a very, very smart man. So we'll have a very brief look at some of the technology. We've got a lot of different freight moving technologies, container, loose freight, cold storage, and ore, where the mining companies are itching for the technology. And we've got several passenger models. We've got the Uni Bike, the Uni Bus, which has evolved over time from the single stand-up pod to the 3-pod, basically tram or bus replacement. We've got a Uni Wine for mountainous areas, an electric car for disabled people, and of course the high-speed train, which allows us to build what's called a linear city. And we've got the 1.5 tonne carrying capacity drone as well. I pose the question, in the future, will you just be a passenger or a co-owner? Because we believe you'll be one or the other. So we're going to leave the door open just for that little bit longer for you. Now, Skyway have been in many different expos over the last year or so. Indonesia, Dubai, major deals done there. We're building there today. Singapore, Russia, and Germany, the big one, InnoTrans, where we actually revealed the high-speed train. None of us knew this was coming. So you can become a co-owner of this technology, which will be built globally. So at this point, let me introduce you to another true genius. He's our CEO, Andre Hirato. He is a professional investor, a self-made multi-millionaire, founder of the Skyway Invest Group, or SWIG, the creator of the Academy of a Private Investor, and he's also a finance and investments business coach. Now, Andre has a huge responsibility to help crowdfund for 2 testing facilities. These are to test and certify the transportation model so we know they're safe to use. Now, no matter what country you're in, these are the biggest global projects we'll ever be part of, Skyway and the crypto unit program. This is Eco Techno Park. We were recently over here. It's built in Belarus on 36 hectares of land. It's located in Myana Gorka in Belarus. All of it was built from crowdfunding from what we've been helping to do. There's many different models there. In fact, here I am just recently touching the first stone laid. There is a unibus, and straight above it, the high-speed train running on top of the track. Here's me in front of the high-speed model that was on the ground so we can look at it. And obviously, that's when we actually visited the production facility in Minsk in Belarus. That is actually one of the luxury pods that's going to be installed into the 15-kilometre long Dubai project. Our second production facility is Innovation Park in Sharjah in the United Arab Emirates. It's being built on a 3-kilometre section of land opposite the police academy and the university. All right, a couple of photos. Does that look familiar? If you look at this track with the U-shaped track running away down there. The next one is our horseshoe-shaped thing with the stay ties. This is a computer-generated image, but what does that look like? And there's the close-up. There it is in all its glory. They've actually installed the track running through that now. Now, this is the container moving solution that they're working on. You can see the horseshoe-shaped ones going into the building there. What does that look like to you? Now, that has since been further advanced. So why do I spend so much time on the technology? It's to impress upon you that this is the real thing. It's going ahead with or without you. In fact, on Dubai TV, it was announced that there's going to be a 15-kilometre long section of track with 21 stations running right up the middle of Dubai that is going to be beginning very, very soon. Let's have a look at the evolution of the Skyway technology through time. Back in '78, Yunitsky came up with the concept. In 2013, 2014, he actually went out looking for joint venture partners, angel investors or billionaires to help raise the funds for the development of the technology. They all wanted too much percentage of the company, up to 80, 90%, so Yunitsky politely declined. Right about that period of time, one of Andre Hirato's students in the Academy of a Private Investor came to him with Skyway technology as an investment opportunity. Andre put it through his 7-point test, got top marks in every category, so they struck a deal which in effect created the Skyway Invest Group, or SWIG, to help develop and raise funds for the technology. They've done that over the last 4.5 to 5 years, through to the point where we are constructing in the United Arab Emirates as we speak, and further projects are just around the corner. We are currently in stage 13.3 out of 15 stages, and we have got signed agreements all over the world with different countries awaiting the technology. We've raised well over $100 million to date out of our goal of $200 million, and our technology is fully transferable. In other words, it can be built all around the world concurrently. So a few of our initial projects will be in Tanzania, Belarus, Ireland, Ukraine, Russia, Turkey, Italy, Ethiopia, Indonesia, Philippines, India, and Australia, just to name a few. This gentleman here is Rod Hook in Australia. I've met Rod. We had lunch one afternoon. He has coincidentally just been added to the Infrastructure Australia board by the Australian government. Does that give you any indication on what might be happening in the near future? India, of course, we are having our 5th year celebration event in India, October this year. We are not a new company, guys. We are almost 5 years old, and in fact, The Academy of a Private Investor started back in 2011, so we were effectively 8 years old. For a moment, we need to talk about education information products. Everybody knows Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow quadrant. We're not getting into it too much other than active income on the left, passive income on the right. Our existing education system teaches you how to go to school, get good grades, go to university, get a good job, work hard for 40 to 50 years so that you'll have an awesome life. Now, who knows that doesn't work? I did this, guys. It doesn't. I started out with a crippling debt in the higher education or the student loans. We work 40 to 50 years before you retire because most people work paycheck to paycheck. They can't afford to retire, never alone do it in any kind of style, nor leave any kind of legacy for their family. Our system, however, fast tracks you to the wealth building side of the quadrant, teaching you how to develop business interests and investments where you have people and money working for you. Now, many people, when they think of financial freedom, think of mansions, Lamborghinis, 50-foot yachts and private jets, but it's really not. If you can learn how to generate enough passive income to cover your expenses existing, are you not financially free? Could you then work on lifestyle after that? I suggest you can. Now, any day is a holiday on true time freedom, and we are creating a legacy with generational wealth for our family moving forward. Now, for participating in the education, initially in our first project, you would buy an education pack. Half the money would go over to Skyway for our fundraising efforts. In return would come equity ownership or pipes, which are gifted to us for participating in the education. In our second project, the crypto unit program, which we are all excited about, when we buy an education package in the crypto unit program, we receive in return tokens. Now, coincidentally enough, the global investment portfolio that our crypto unit STO is wrapped around actually is the largest shareholder of the Skyway technology. So we're killing two birds with one stone. We also generate now income in the form of our loyalty bonus, which is an ongoing, increasing monthly passive income. So how do we get to the money faster? As a Skyway Invest Group partner, you'll benefit from dividends and or loyalty bonuses from the SWIG portfolio, which is within our crypto unit program. So let's have a look at our portfolio. We are spreading our global investment portfolio out over the 21 investment instruments throughout the investment arena. Currently, the Skyway shares are about 40% of the portfolio, but that is reducing in size as all of our other investments increase in size. We have real estate in several countries, Taganrog, Russia, Phuket, Thailand, where we're going to be building a resort. We've actually got 1.1 billion Skyway shares. That number's incorrect. We've got cryptocurrency holdings in several coins, Berkshire Hathaway shares, Visa and MasterCard, Facebook, Twitter, FedEx, just to name a few. We have investments in the energy industry. We've bought our own bank, basically acquiring a banking license, and we have brokerage firms around the world. We've got cash investments and reserves. And something really cool, we've got a couple of gold mines already in our possession in Ghana and Tanzania, and we are purchasing more. We have a diamond mine, and we mechanically produce diamonds as well. So let's compare our crypto unit club to other instruments out there. Many people would have heard of the term ICO. Now, an ICO is an unregulated industry called the initial coin offering industry. Now, an initial coin offering, all you really need is a white paper, a scratched up website, a coin on the blockchain, and a story. Now, the story might be as simple as, we are going to disrupt the banking industry by having unlimited international transactions for no fees, 24 hours a day. Now, people fall for it. They throw a lot of money at it in the hope that the price will spike up if it hits an exchange so they can sell their coin for extreme profit and solve all of their financial problems. What's happened, however, most of the time is the fact that the people run ICOs, collect the money and run away with it, leaving people out of pocket, angry and gun shy. Now, here's the point. We are not an ICO. We are a security token offering, security being the operative word. That indicates that we have an underlying asset. Now, the asset in our case is the investment portfolio that we just discussed. We have a 3-phase rollout. The first phase being an internal launch within SWIG. We get first bite of the cherry. We can get our hands on these tokens at extreme discount before the public even gets a look in. We have extreme demand on our product. The large packages in previous stages of our pre-launch have sold out in a heartbeat. What do you think will happen when we actually go onto the public marketplace? Absolutely. The second phase is our global launch. This is where our ATMs roll out. Financial advisors can actually sell this to their databases, and we hit the crypto exchanges. The third phase is our public launch, fully SEC compliant, scheduled for mid-October. During the internal launch, 40% of all the revenue coming in from sale of education packages, which come with the tokens, is tipped back into our portfolio. 37% is set aside for a compensation plan, some company expenses, and 10% is set aside for our monthly loyalty bonuses. Once we go public, however, 65% of all new revenue is tipped back into our portfolio, increasing its size significantly to a point where it becomes a self-feeding beast. Loyalty bonuses will be slowly replaced with dividends, which will come from 5 to 35% of the growth of the global investment portfolio paid out in monthly dividends. Every month so far in the pre-launch stage, we have received a loyalty bonus. This has been increasing in value every month, and it will continue to do so as the size of the portfolio increases. When we go public, our loyalty bonus will transfer into a dividend, which will also grow with the size of our portfolio. When we go public, also we get to play with the big boys, and these dividends will take a jump in value. Our global investment portfolio is specifically designed to last for generations, and we are building our support network around the portfolio to protect it moving forward. So in effect, we have an ongoing increasing monthly passive income that will last you out. You'll will it onto your children and them to theirs. Is this not what everybody is looking for? Absolutely. For a moment, let's talk about the US dollar. Back in 1971, Richard Nixon temporarily removed the gold standard from the US dollar, which at that point in time caused every currency around the world to become a fiat currency. At that point also, it allowed banks and governments to conjure money up out of thin air, and they've been doing so in the trillions. Banks don't lend money, they create it. That's why it's so hard to get by these days, because the buying power of our dollar is being diluted by the minute. And just on a side note, if you study the history of money, every fiat currency in the history of time has returned to its intrinsic value of zero. Why will this be any different? If you're not prepared for what's going to happen in the near future, you could very well get wiped out. Back in the 1950s and 60s, you could actually exchange your money for gold. Gold is a brilliant store of value. Back in the Roman days, you could buy a chariot with a bar of gold. Today, you can buy a car. Imagine if you had these 4 shiny bars of gold on your kitchen bench. Apart from saying yay, is there any way you could produce 20 bars of gold of the same size without digging it up out of your garden, hijacking the golden goose, or buying it? You can't, because it's a finite amount of a precious metal. This is why banks and governments hate it, because they can't print it. Now, on the other side of the fence, our golden goose, we literally can create 20 bars of gold because we own a gold mine. In fact, we own a couple, and we are negotiating more, as well as a diamond mine, mechanically producing diamonds, all the land and equity shares. Now, being a token holder, we are part owners of that. So our portfolio increases in value and not just price like gold does. So let's have a look at what's coming in the future. Here's our lovely Brenda showcasing our crypto unit ATM, which was on display in Minsk at the Leaders Conference we all went to. They gave us a live demonstration of the functionality of these, and in fact we have already got 5 installed in different countries throughout Europe. The rollout was going to begin in December this year, but they're starting to roll out as of April and moving forwards, 8 months early. Now these things profit anywhere between $500 and upwards of $1,000 a day, so the mind boggles, especially when we start rolling out 10, 15, 20,000 of these across the planet. Now, next we're going to talk about the new economic evolution of the world. Now, when I first heard this, it sounded a bit corny, but once you understand our vision and where this movement is going, you'll drop everything to be part of it. For example, we could build a linear city. All right, now we could be owners of the land, the infrastructure, the towers, the interconnecting unibuses and high-speed trains connecting you back to the major metropolitan centres. Now, because we're part owners in everything, when someone builds a house or rents some land, we get paid. When someone goes to a shopping centre or a doctor's surgery in the towers, we get paid. When someone catches a unibus, we get paid, or a high-speed train, we get paid. This is what we're going to do. We're going to flip the tables on the major corporations. Instead of them seeing us as sheeple and their cash cows, we're going to turn them into ours. We will have many different future projects. There can be individual Skyway projects. There's already further gold mines in discussions, diamond mines, copper, silver. There's talk of petrol stations, real estate deals, for example, a resort in Phuket, Thailand, and countless IPO deals. We actually have corporations coming to us now to raise funds to help them develop their businesses, giving us equity shares in their company. For example, some of the recent IPO deals we've done: Revolve, a Los Angeles-based online clothing company for millennial women. We invested in this and received a 93% return in 30 days. Another one is CrowdStrike, an internet security company. We invested in these and earned 97% in 30 days. Fiverr, most of you will know who these people are. We invested in these guys and earned a 40% return in 30 days. The next one is Chewy. Now, this is what I thought it was, but in reality, it's an online pet store that's very big in America, and they wanted to go global, so they needed some incoming funds. We invested in these and earned 57% profit in the first 30 days. Some of the other deals we've done: Adaptive Technologies, Change Healthcare, The Real, Medallia Digital, Health Catalyst, Live On Go, just to name a few. There are many others. And we don't just throw money at these, we research them in depth before we even look at investing in any IPOs. Now, we're actually equity owners in these companies now, so whenever any money is spent within the companies, we share in the profit. How cool is that? Who's seen on the TV the show called Shark Tank? You know, where people come up and pitch their products looking for investment for a certain amount of equity ownership? We're like the sharks. People come to us now looking for money because they can't get it from the banks. And they'll make an offer and we'll just sit back and go, nah, you're dreaming. Come back when you get a better deal. And they go, oh, wait. Okay, so we get to cherry pick the best offers out of all of the IPO deals. So we maximize our profit and equity ownership in these companies. This will only increase in time as our reputation and our portfolio increases in size. You can actually earn your financial freedom passively if you can come in, buy big enough education packages to accumulate either equity shares in the Skyway technology or crew in our crypto unit club, so that in time you'll earn a bucket load of money and earn your freedom. But here's the point: you can actually share this life-changing opportunity with others, giving them the same opportunity you've got. And for doing so, you'll earn instant commissions and bonus tokens. Obviously, the more people you share it with, the bigger they will be. It's very easy to get started. It's as simple as grabbing the link from the person who's invited you, filling out the form and doing your verification. We have lots of news, training and support groups. So if you just want to sit and invest, we've got news groups to keep your ear to the ground. But if you want to share this with others, we've got trainings and support if you want to gently build a team or build one on purpose, like many of us. We want you to become a professional investor both inside and outside of SWIG, so that we can all create multiple massive passive income streams so we can help reach our financial freedom and then in turn help others reach theirs. So we can all start doing what we love and follow our passion. What we're also doing is leaving a legacy for your family. The global investment portfolio that we're tapping into is specifically designed to last for generations. This will see you out. You'll end up willing this onto your children and them to theirs. Because we all die twice, don't we? First when we leave this mortal coil, and second, when your family stops speaking your name. So here's your chance to live on in your family's history as the one that set up that SWIG thing all those years ago to allow them to have the lifestyle they've got today. So that actually ends the official part of the presentation. What we'll actually do is stop sharing and open it up for questions and answers.